I have to stop you with the camera because I can see you. So do me a favor, don't pull it out again.
Get the latest updates on Whoopi Goldberg. This entertainment icon has reportedly lost everything after being entangled in a recent complex lawsuit with Jason Aldean. A confidential source revealed that she is in extreme panic and trying to deal with an enormous sum of up to $40 million. That's right. She appears to have lost it all overnight. To learn more about Whoopi Goldberg's complicated case, don't miss our video. A report from the Krueger Times suggests that country singer Jason Aldean intends to sue Whoopi Goldberg, a host on The View, for alleged defamation. According to the report, the lawsuit demands $40 million in damages, with Aldean's legal team, led by attorney Joe Barron, expressing that Goldberg's comments labeling Aldean as racist were defamatory. Barron reportedly stated that Goldberg should pay for her little stunt, suggesting that Aldean's team sees her comments as not just unfounded, but financially and reputationally damaging. If this lawsuit is indeed authentic and proceeds in court, Goldberg could face a substantial financial burden. The accusation of racism, according to Aldean's team, damages his reputation and career in ways that merit a large monetary compensation. Given that Goldberg's statements were made on a prominent national television show and are accessible online, Aldean's legal team believes they have a strong case backed by recorded evidence. This means that if they proceed with a defamation case, they will focus on proving the material harm caused by Goldberg's statements, as well as their potential to damage Aldean's standing and career trajectory. However, it's important to recognize that this report originates from the Krueger Times, a satirical website known for publishing fictional stories and news parodies. This means that the report itself, despite the sensational claims, should be viewed critically and not assumed to be factual. There is no official or reliable source confirming that Aldean has actually filed a lawsuit against Goldberg, and satire sites like the Krueger Times often craft stories that mimic real-world legal disputes or social controversies to entertain or provoke reactions. For instance, in previous cases, satire and parody sites have fabricated stories involving celebrities or public figures to engage readers. The plausibility of these stories sometimes leads people to share them as if they were factual, especially when they touch on contentious topics like free speech, defamation, or cultural controversies. As with other satirical stories, readers may initially believe the report because it echoes current tensions in entertainment and media, where accusations of defamation and public debates about free speech are common themes. Interestingly, the Krueger Times mention of a $40 million lawsuit aligns with the recent, very real phenomenon of public figures taking legal action against media outlets and individuals for defamatory remarks. For example, public figures and influencers have pursued lawsuits when they felt their reputations were seriously harmed by false information spread online or on broadcast media. Yet, even if the underlying topic, whether public figures should be able to sue for defamation on such grounds, is a serious one, the Krueger Times story is best interpreted as a satirical piece that uses the format of a news report to playfully exaggerate a hypothetical situation. The story also references another purported lawsuit by Rittenhouse against Goldberg, again a topic that has been discussed widely in the media but has not materialized in a legal capacity as suggested by the satirical piece. In reality, while Rittenhouse has mentioned intentions to take legal action against media personalities or outlets he believes have mischaracterized him, there is no concrete evidence of a filed lawsuit against Goldberg. In a recent interview on Tucker Carlson Tonight, Rittenhouse announced that he and his team have launched a new initiative called the Media Accountability Project. This organization's aim is to hold media outlets and individual commentators legally accountable for allegedly defamatory statements made about him and other public figures. Rittenhouse explained that this project was inspired by what he perceives as widespread and damaging misinformation that was disseminated about him during and after his trial in 2021. Among those he mentioned as potential legal targets are Whoopi Goldberg, a prominent actress and co-host of The View, whom he alleges called him a murderer on air even after he was acquitted. Rittenhouse's case has been one of the most contentious and heavily publicized in recent years. In August 2020, Rittenhouse was involved in a shooting during a protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where he fatally shot 2 men and injured a third. The jury found him not guilty on all charges, accepting his argument of self-defense. However, his actions and the verdict sparked significant debate across political and social spheres. While his acquittal legally cleared him of criminal responsibility, Rittenhouse argues that media portrayals continued to damage his reputation by suggesting otherwise. According to him, figures like Goldberg have influenced public opinion by disregarding the jury's verdict and calling him a murderer despite his legal exoneration. In Rittenhouse's view, media figures who continue to present him as guilty of murder despite his acquittal are engaging in defamation. By calling for legal action, he hopes to create a precedent that could deter what he perceives as reckless or biased reporting, ultimately promoting more responsible journalism. With the Media Accountability Project, he intends to bring legal cases against individuals and media entities he believes crossed ethical and legal boundaries. His choice to publicly name Goldberg on Tucker Carlson tonight highlights how high-profile his targets could be. Goldberg, known for her strong opinions on The View, has had other moments of controversy that have ignited public backlash and raised questions about the balance between free speech and accountability. In early 2022, she made a controversial statement regarding the Holocaust, saying that it was not about race, but about man's inhumanity to man. Her comment suggested that she viewed the Holocaust through a broader lens of human cruelty rather than as a racially motivated genocide. This interpretation, however, was widely criticized by historians, advocacy groups, and members of the Jewish community, who emphasized that the Holocaust was fundamentally rooted in Nazi racial ideology, which classified Jewish people as a separate, inferior race. The backlash against Goldberg was swift. ABC's President Kim Godwin responded by suspending Goldberg from The View, stating that her comments had caused significant harm and indicating that they were not in line with the network's values. Goldberg later issued an apology, clarifying that she had not intended to downplay the Holocaust's significance or offend Jewish communities. She explained that her statement was a misinterpretation rather than an attempt to deny the racial dimension of the Holocaust. This incident demonstrated the influence and responsibility that media personalities hold, as well as the repercussions they may face when their comments are perceived as insensitive or inaccurate. Rittenhouse's mention of Goldberg, therefore, connects to broader issues of media responsibility and the potential for statements made in the public eye to have significant personal and professional impacts. The Media Accountability Project, if successful, could initiate a shift in how media companies and public figures approach discussions around contentious events. While freedom of speech remains a fundamental right, Rittenhouse's initiative suggests a push toward consequences for speech that individuals perceive as defamatory or damaging, particularly when it is directed at people who have been exonerated by the legal system. Despite issuing a public apology following her controversial remarks about the Holocaust, Whoopi Goldberg later reiterated her perspective during an interview with a UK journalist. In this interview, Goldberg appeared to double down on her earlier view, suggesting that the Holocaust was not racially motivated, but instead a horrific example of human cruelty. This statement reignited the controversy, as her critics interpreted it as a refusal to fully acknowledge the racial ideology that drove the Holocaust's atrocities. Goldberg was soon under fire again, with renewed calls for accountability from the public and various organizations. Following the backlash, Goldberg issued a second apology. She claimed her words were taken out of context and explained that she did not intend to reiterate hurtful opinions. This time, she clarified that she had listened closely to the feedback from rabbis, Jewish friends, and scholars, and she assured the public that she now understood the Holocaust as an event explicitly driven by race. She expressed remorse, explaining that her intention was never to offend or diminish the racial motivations behind the Holocaust. Goldberg's statements, however, illustrate the fine line between free speech and accountability, particularly when discussing sensitive topics in public forums. Her initial comments, followed by multiple apologies, highlight the complexities of navigating public discourse, especially when those in the spotlight feel misunderstood or misrepresented. This incident is just one chapter in Goldberg's complex relationship with public controversy and the cancel culture phenomenon. She has been candid about her own experiences with backlash and the personal impact that public criticism has had on her career. During a 2021 appearance at the Edinburgh TV Festival, Goldberg spoke out against cancel culture, lamenting how truth doesn't seem to matter as much these days. She argued that cancel culture encourages a rush to judgment that doesn't leave room for growth or context, leading to severe consequences for those caught in its crosshairs. Goldberg's own career, she explained, was nearly derailed after she made a joke about a sitting U.S. president at a fundraising event. The joke stirred substantial public outrage, and Goldberg found herself ostracized from Hollywood and struggling financially. Goldberg recounted how she lost nearly all of her savings in the wake of the backlash, and her career in entertainment was hanging by a thread. For a time, she struggled to find work as industry opportunities dwindled and offers evaporated. Eventually, Barbara Walters stepped in, offering Goldberg a chance to join The View, a daytime talk show known for its spirited discussions and wide-ranging political and social commentary. This role allowed Goldberg to rebuild her career, and it gave her a platform to share her perspectives on current events and social issues. Over time, Goldberg became one of the show's most outspoken hosts, appreciated by some viewers for her candor and criticized by others for her unfiltered commentary. Since joining The View, Goldberg has remained true to her approach of speaking her mind, even when her views have drawn sharp criticism. Her stance on cancel culture aligns with her belief in personal growth and redemption, suggesting that people should not be condemned for life over a single statement or opinion, especially if they take steps to apologize and learn from the experience. In a media landscape where one comment can lead to intense scrutiny, Goldberg's position invites a discussion on whether cancel culture leaves room for genuine accountability and understanding. Goldberg's experience illustrates a broader tension in today's culture: the line between holding public figures accountable and allowing for forgiveness and evolution. When she made her Holocaust remarks, Goldberg likely did not anticipate the full scale of the backlash she would face, nor the lasting repercussions. Yet, in her apologies, she has shown a willingness to listen and learn. By engaging with rabbis and friends, she worked to deepen her understanding of Jewish history and the racial motivations behind the Holocaust. This commitment to self-reflection, while still defending her right to express her views, encapsulates her complex relationship with cancel culture, a phenomenon she has both fallen victim to and critiqued. In her remarks at the Edinburgh TV Festival, Goldberg also touched on the theme of resilience. Having faced significant career setbacks, she understands the stakes of cancel culture on a personal level. She has seen the way public sentiment can shift and the speed with which it can impact someone's livelihood. Goldberg's return to the spotlight, facilitated by Walters' offer of a role on The View, marks her career resurgence and her stance against cancel culture's punitive aspects. Walters' decision to hire Goldberg also demonstrated the importance of offering second chances, recognizing that people can grow and contribute meaningfully even after public missteps. Whoopi Goldberg has often found herself at the center of controversy due to her outspoken views on various complex social issues. Her approach to these subjects, often candid and sometimes provocative, has drawn both support and criticism, highlighting the challenges she faces as a public figure unafraid to express her beliefs. Her views have sparked significant backlash on multiple occasions, particularly on topics that carry deep emotional and cultural weight. One notable instance involved her defense of comedian and actor Bill Cosby amid the numerous sexual assault allegations against him. In the early stages of Cosby's scandal, Goldberg was initially supportive, stating that he was innocent until proven guilty. Her remarks reflected her belief in the legal principle that accusations alone do not equate to guilt. However, as more women came forward with accusations and Cosby faced increasing legal scrutiny, Goldberg began to reconsider her stance. She eventually acknowledged that "it looks bad, Bill," signaling a shift in her perspective as evidence and public sentiment mounted against him. While some viewers appreciated her willingness to reconsider her position in light of new information, others were critical of her initial support, feeling it minimized the trauma of Cosby's alleged victims. This incident underscored the complexity of navigating high-profile cases in the media, where initial judgments may evolve but can still leave lasting impressions on the public. Another controversy arose during the SAG Oscars So White movement in 2020, a campaign highlighting the lack of diversity in the Oscar nominations, especially for Black and minority actors and filmmakers. When asked about the issue, Goldberg stated that she did not believe the Oscars themselves were the problem. Instead, she argued that the lack of diversity was an issue rooted in the entertainment industry as a whole, rather than the Academy's voting process. Goldberg cited her own 1991 Oscar win for Ghost as evidence that people of color could achieve recognition in Hollywood. However, her comments faced backlash from those who felt she downplayed systemic barriers that prevent actors and filmmakers from diverse backgrounds from gaining equal opportunities in the industry. Critics argued that her individual success was not representative of broader trends, and that the Oscars, as a prestigious institution, played a critical role in shaping industry standards and opportunities. Goldberg's response to number Oscars. So White showcased her personal perspective on Hollywood's racial dynamics, but it also revealed the gap between individual experiences and the systemic challenges that underrepresented groups continue to face. Goldberg's views on these issues have led some fans to question the consistency of her stance on social justice matters, particularly in light of the current alleged defamation case with country singer Jason Aldean. Aldean's supporters, emboldened by their perception of Goldberg's sometimes polarizing views, have voiced their support for Aldean's potential lawsuit, arguing that Goldberg's previous comments reflect a pattern of insensitivity or misunderstanding. For some, Goldberg's defense of Cosby and her statements about the Oscars have contributed to a perception that she occasionally takes controversial stances that seem out of step with the views of progressive communities. Adding to the discourse, Goldberg's choice of stage name has occasionally drawn scrutiny. Born Corinne Elaine Johnson, she adopted Whoopi Goldberg as her professional name early in her career. While Goldberg has occasionally mentioned a Jewish heritage, some critics question her use of the surname Goldberg, arguing that it is appropriative or disingenuous. She has responded to these critiques by explaining that the name was intended as both a homage to her heritage and a memorable stage name, helping her stand out in the entertainment industry. However, questions about her name reflect the ongoing tensions some audiences feel regarding her perceived authenticity, especially as her public commentary on racial and cultural issues invites a closer examination of her identity and the influences that shape her viewpoints. Goldberg's blend of candid commentary and unapologetic personality is a defining feature of her public presence, yet it also places her at the center of heated debates. Her role on The View has amplified these discussions, allowing her to express her opinions on current issues daily. However, the same platform also exposes her to instant and widespread backlash when her comments are perceived as controversial or out of touch. Goldberg's experiences highlight the challenges faced by public figures who attempt to navigate sensitive topics on high-profile platforms where a single comment can be amplified and scrutinized intensely by both supporters and detractors. Today, Goldberg's stance on complex social issues continues to be a subject of public fascination and debate. Whether addressing systemic racism in Hollywood, weighing in on criminal cases involving public figures, or discussing her own career challenges, she has remained firm in her belief that open conversation is crucial, even when it invites criticism. However, as some fans now rally behind Jason Aldean in what they see as a justified stand against Goldberg, her critics question the impact of her words and her awareness of the influence she wields. While her supporters argue that Goldberg's outspokenness is a valuable aspect of her role on The View, her detractors contend that her comments on sensitive issues may occasionally do more harm than good. Whoopi Goldberg's complex legacy illustrates the tightrope that high-profile figures walk when they address contentious issues. Her career showcases both resilience and the evolving responsibilities of public personalities who wish to speak out on important topics. Yet Goldberg's journey also raises questions about the lasting effects of public discourse on her reputation and the ways in which public figures are held accountable for their words. What do you think about Whoopi Goldberg getting caught up in these complicated lawsuits? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.